What's up, everybody? Celtic Scarecrow here, back with our video to get those 10s and 20 views. Uh, Side note before we really kick on into things, I'm going to make some modifications to the way things are slightly done, just slightly. And it's not even really dealing with the main channel. It's the secondary channel, the Haunted Forest Gaming Network, because I'm gonna start streaming again on this time on Kick, and then so like Friday Night Frights where we're currently playing Until Dawn, and will be on Fridays, and maybe even God of War randomly. So and a couple other games. So those would be live on Kick, and then upload it to that channel, the show right here. I was going to do Mr. Tom Grassi reaction. No, when he was in Carolina. This one. Because, he is doing, as it says right at the top of my head, like, we're fully stretched up, 30 and 30, 20. Pretty much he's going to every NFL city trying to raise money for St. Jude's. But I kind of felt like that would be a slightly douchey way to gain followers. Instead, we are going to be reacting to one of his fellow clickbaits, which is the podcast-ish show that he does with Brandon Perna, who he does GPS with. Urinating Tree, who is a Penguins fan. He's a Pittsburgh fan in general, but he's a Penguins fan. So he gains points for that. The one, the only Scrooter McGroover. I know I've done a reaction to him. I'm currently just going to mess with my green screen a little bit because it's picking up my blue and my headband a little too much. And finally, the one that I haven't really watched any videos for until today, Mr. 5 Points. And because all the other sports are basically done, we are going to be reacting to the best, worst, and weirdest minor league stadium. Not enough of that shitty chat, because I want to get back to playing video games. Let's get to it.
Important part of small towns. Mid-size and even major baseball is a very important part of small towns. Mid-size and even major cities. In terms of quality, there are varying levels of...
Yeah, weird complications, and so we're back.
League baseball is a very important part of small towns. Mid-size and even major cities. In terms of quality, there are varying levels of minor league ballparks. Some are so good, they rival at least one major league field.
That would be a fun stadium to play in. My local area has a nice baseball stadium, but it's being used for jack shit right now. Because team vanished, so it's just a nice stadium just sitting there.
Some, not so much. Let's take a look at the best, worst, and weirdest minor league ballparks, and that's coming up right after.
That's not impressive, but it is really impressive just because, like I would have turned this ballpark this way so the center field would be into the water, but...
Hey, let's be real. This summer is gonna be fun, but maybe the wallet has gotten a little thinner. Raycon is on a mission to...
personal ad.
Whether you
like... Sorry, 5, I don't know you that well, so I'm not going to.
My favorite feature is the cons. 5 point product protect. Again, you're ready.
Okay, back.
Open in 1995. Open in 1995. DBAP was built to replace the original Durham Athletic Park, where the movie Bull Durham was filmed.
That's a weird thing. Like, I hope this is a hospital. That would be a great thing for, like, kids and patients to get a free baseball game.
Fun fact, the Snorting Bull, which is in its second iteration, was actually built as a movie prop and wasn't there before the film.
This is called, hey, We'll add it.
This park is absolutely gorgeous with an intimate backdrop and features such as the Blue Monster in left field. The stadium was renovated in both 2014 and 2023, and they play AAA ball here, not single A, like in the movie. With a bold approach to roof design, this 10,000-seat stadium in Georgia pushes a modern look and feel.
Hey, look at the size of the parking lot for that small stadium.
While retaining classic ballpark features. The stadium has multiple adjacent apartment complexes, swimming pools, and free views of the baseball games. Beyond the left field fence, a retaining wall creates an interesting dugout well, and just a nice ballpark overall.
Okay, like, again, they got free baseball to live there, it'd be not bad.
That's the Gwinnett Stripers, not the Strippers. Those are down in Atlanta. Opened in 1996, Victory Field is one of the rare minor league ballparks that has an upper deck. Touted by many publications as one of the best ballparks in America, its downtown location is
It's a pretty nice location, not that far from the water, so you get a nice breeze, keep cool in the hot summer days.
Great spot to take in a game. Recent amenities have been added to
That's
make
nice
it
view.
an overall great experience. Victory Field is definitely a winner.
Dad joke.
This ballpark has fantastic interior.
That's a nice stadium. Just from the sky view, I can tell it's a nice stadium. You figure you walk in over here, probably tunnel up into like anywhere. That's a really nice stadium because
Your views of the JFK and Abraham Lincoln bridges. Hold up, no shot that they named both bridges that. Y'all are tripping in Louisville. Spectators enter the stadium through what used to be the Brindley Hardy Company warehouse, which doubles as a concession and shopping area. Fun fact, the mound here is retractable as the field is also used for soccer and concerts and can easily be converted.
that's pretty cool. I thought he was going to say softball, but they were stadium for a soccer game, though.
Holy Toledo, what a great looking ballpark. This 10,000-seat stadium was opened in the year 2000 and has been a top-rated minor league field since. Located next to the Maumee River and the heart of downtown Toledo, Fifth Third uses classic
Oh, you see Maumee River?
jewel box architecture combined with modern amenities and features. Also, Fifth Third is the dumbest name for a bank ever. Though this one could be put in the weird category, it's also an amazing AAA level ballpark. What's fun is with its elevation of over 5,100 feet above sea level, you get to see some absolute bombs in the games
High altitude equals farther baseball. Yes.
here.
Right versus right. First pitch hammered, left field, way back, you can tell it goodbye.
You just got flanked by the
Jeremy Barfield nearly hit his face.
The center field
My only issue with it, there's not much around it.
has a curved fence area with a hill to make things interesting out there. Additionally, there are
I've seen that before.
Simpsons-themed statues as the isotopes are essentially named from the show itself. Great ballpark.
Yeah, that was the Springfield Isotopes was that, so pretty cool.
I've actually seen this ballpark many times. It's right in the heart of downtown Oklahoma, and its all-brick aesthetic is amazing in
That is
person.
beautiful.
Opened in 1998, it has a max capacity of 13,066 fans. The entrance to the park is named after Oklahoma Sun Johnny Bench and features a unique plaza and baseball monument to the catcher. Also, where it's located is a great place to go grab a drink and enjoy a stroll by the river.
So I'm saying, like, this is a good location just for, like, you want to be able to get to and from. Like, Pittsburgh has a great location.
Which you hopefully don't stumble into after drinking.
Sorry. Ad break. No.
Akron isn't exactly a paradise, but this ballpark is a really well done AA level ballpark with a max capacity of just over 7,000. The park was designed by the same architecture firm that brought us Progressive Field, where the Rubber Ducks parent team plays.
Yeah.
The two parks
Oh,
share
yeah, I forgot.
similar
The Akron.
dimensions, however.
Yeah, Akron Rubber Duckies.
However, the field in Akron has a well in right center. Beyond the batter's eye is the Canal Square Y, originally built as a YMCA in 1931 and has since been converted into a multi-use property. And all the residents of the building can say it's fun to stay at the YMCA.
Low hanging fruit there.
Opened in 2017, this is just a gorgeous minor league ballpark in Hartford, Connecticut, right on the outskirts of downtown and close to the Connecticut River. I really like the overhanging seats in right field that provide a great view of the field. For a AA level stadium, this is very high quality, complete with a second deck that brings...
Well, Connecticut, especially Hartford, is a kind of rich your efforts area, so yeah, it's not a shocker.
Brings the total capacity of this stadium to just over 6,000. Plus, the naming rights are owned by Dunkin' Donuts, so there has to be a Dunkin' Donuts in there, because donuts and baseball rock.
Not too sure about that one.
Another great example of a downtown reclamation.
Oh, one, you got a construction over here. What's going here? That could make or break a good baseball stadium.
/ revival. Regions Field was opened in 2013 to rave reviews. Once a rail yard, the original building was converted into an indoor pavilion with concessions and retail space. The dimensions of the field are similar to that of nearby Rickwood Field, the oldest professional ballpark in the United States. Or so they claim. And side note, the Birmingham Barons were an original Negro League team, so the name honors that history.
Always honor history.
A Class A affiliate of the Oakland A's might actually have a much nicer ballpark than the Coliseum.
They do, but it's a weird location. Like, what the heck? That is just a weird city structure.
Might, definitely. This one is interesting as it's actually sandwiched between two major streets in Lansing, creating a unique engineering, execution, and aesthetic. I love the odd outfield dimensions, and the colorful lofts that surround the outfield make this an amazing and interesting minor.
All right, that's actually pretty cool. I kind of like the odd angled baseball field. Creates like weird bounces and chaos.
Like ballpark.
Baseball needs chaos.
Plus, I'm willing to bet the plumbing actually works here.
No, it's shot at the Coliseum, yeah.
A replica of Camden Yards, Latos Field is another solid Class A park that is visible from the highway. Not exactly in a downtown area.
Yeah, but that would be terrifying if baseball actually hits a car there. But granted, that looks like it would be a 700-foot shot.
I do like how they built a hotel that echoes the B&O warehouse aesthetic. Heck, the youth ballpark behind Latos might actually be the nicest one on this campus, and I'm willing to bet it's the most profitable, as any parent who has taken their kid there for camp knows after missing an arm and a leg to pay for it.
It's 2 baseball stadiums there.
Located right on the Savannah River in Augusta.
There's a shot for you, especially if you're sitting third base side.
Augusta, Georgia, SRP Park touches all the bases for a small minor league facility. There's a nearby bridge, on-site apartments, and a gorgeous view of downtown, along with parks, parking, and restaurants on the property. Plus, if someone really gets a hold of one, they can plunk it into the river in right field. And finally, our last best field.
Oh, it's Vegas. They're either going to be great or weird.
Definitely a nicer ballpark than the Coliseum. The A's AAA affiliate stadium might become their temporary stadium in the near future. So new it's not even rendered in Google Maps. Opening day was in 2019 and an incredible upgrade from the awful Cashman Field. Las Vegas ballpark has 22 suites, 400 clubs.
Oh, look at him showing off that he did batting practice there.
Club level seats, a center field pool, and several bars. It also has the largest video board in all of the minor leagues at 3,930 square feet. Just a gorgeous ballpark with clean sight lines, thin air, and great atmosphere. And now for the worst minor league ballparks.
I want god awful. I want like right field's only like 200 yards, but left field's almost in the 5s. Center field's in 6.
Opened in 1992, Mirabito
I was gonna say dugouts that don't have roofs
is definitely on the bottom of the spectrum for minor league ballparks, especially for a AA level.
Oh, you got trains that could be going by at any time. At least it has a decent location.
It's plain and unassuming and right next to an old train yard. The outside of the stadium kind of gives off an old movie theater vibe. And compared to even mid stadiums in the minor leagues, this one is lacking. I don't know how I didn't put this in the weird category, but I guess because it looks so bad from way up here.
Like I said, I like angles, but this straight flat is that's not good.
Field dimensions certainly are interesting. It just looks like the field was jammed in here. And the stadium is also adjacent to Everett Memorial Stadium, which also looks awful. But apparently this is where Ken Griffey Jr. hit his first pro home run, and that's probably what's keeping this place from being torn down.
Probably doesn't mean to get turned down. Let's see where we at now. Canada. Oh, they screw everything up. Yeah, I said it.
This stadium lands on the worst list because it's simply old. It was
you don't have that many seatings, but that's a great view.
opened in 1951 and it looks every bit its age. Apparently this place draws pretty well for games, but that is hard to mask how
it's Canada. I'm not sure how much they really do there in the summer. That's kind of a winter sport area.
Archaic the main grandstand looks. On the bright side, at least it isn't located in DTES. Despite all the history of this ballpark, this is where Jackie Robinson took his first steps towards the major leagues. It's a really bad ball field and stadium.
The field doesn't look bad. The field looks in bad condition, yes. Good location, but like my high school has a better. Now I wouldn't say my high school, but I've seen high school fields better than
It has disjointed architecture, it's next to a swampy, humid river, it has boring dimensions, and if you ask anyone that's ever been there or worked there, it's not all that great a stadium. Still, it is historic as it was opened in 1914. Maybe someday it will get a much needed renovation, because it needs it.
Cali.
Another super old ballpark. This one was open in
Okay, you have plenty of space to just rebuild this thing.
1955 and is showing signs of its age. Its record attendance was in 2007 when Randy Johnson shoved an inning here, but I don't think he destroyed a bird. It just looks stale and is located on the outskirts of Modesto. There's no.
Also, it's California. You know, there's people on the first base. Anybody sitting there is just melting during a game. When August there,
No surrounding environment or appealing charm to it. But hey, they have plenty of parking. Located not too far from Modesto is another very pedestrian Class A ballpark in
same kind of thing I said. Middle of August, man, you're melting at this stadium.
San Jose, opened in 1942.
Double if those are metal benches.
Excite Ballpark is tucked into an industrial area, and it seems to be the least appealing venue amid a sports complex that features a skating rink and a driving range.
Skating rink might be the San Jose Sharks hockey team's practice rink.
Probably not an awful field itself, but compared to the level that most Class A teams experience, this one is pretty bad. And I'm talking about Class A.
The stadium behind it might look even nicer.
And now our last worst stadium before we get to the weird ones.
Flying Squirrel.
It hurts to put this one on the list because I have been to it many, many times. However, it's been the subject of a long-standing feud between the residents of Richmond, the team, and everyone. The structure has been outdated since the early 2000s, prompting the Richmond Braves to leave in 2008.
Well, I'm just backing up for a second. You have this whole land up here. Everything from the first base side back, to start building a better looking stadium.
Between the residents of Richmond, the team, and everyone. The structure has been outdated since the early 2000s, prompting the Richmond Braves to leave in 2008. Since then, the Flying Squirrels have occupied the building, and attendance has been great despite the fact that the aging concrete may or may not be structurally sound, and the building is close to being condemned. It has
a Virginia/Washington sports team with a old aging building that might be condemned. There's a shocker.
It's one of the smallest video boards in all of AA, and there isn't going to be any more effort put into it as they now have plans to put in a new ballpark by 2026. The old brutalist architecture of the stadium just looks outdated, and for AA ball, it's just not up to snuff. Weird minor league fields.
Weird can be good or weird can be god awful. There's very little in between. Oh, we're in Nebraska.
Not only are the outfield fences weird at Werner Park, but the fence height
I don't mind that weird. This is kind of said like this is good chaos weird.
variation is also strange. In left center, there is this odd intentional peak of the outfield wall that definitely makes the place unique. The ballpark was built specifically because the team needed a place to play while the College World Series comes to town every summer. Not a bad stadium at all,
How bad are you that you get kicked out of your own stadium for college baseball?
just a little weird.
Listen, that's a good weird.
This field was opened in 1997.
I probably drove past this at some point.
And the grandstand and main stadium area look amazing. However, in left field, things get pretty weird. In front of the video board, we
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the sharp turn here. Like, I don't mind this. This should have just kept going straight up there, and that would have been fine for me. It's that weird angle.
have this odd well that just juts out from the bullpen with a triangular peak that is a truly bizarre feature in
Listen, that would have gone straight perfectly fine.
an otherwise normal field. I couldn't find why the outfield wall was shaped like that, so any armchair historians that know, please leave a comment down below. It's not that this field has particularly odd.
It looks like it was added on to. That's the best way I can describe it. Like this whole left field, left center. It looks like they just said, "Oh crap, we don't have enough space. Add on."
Odd dimensions. It's more so that the stadium is adjacent to an old Amazon-sized warehouse that is actually
I didn't even notice that.
part of the stadium structure itself. Opened in 2015,
Yeah, we can make modifiers to that.
CHS Field is one of AAA's newest ballparks, but its architecture is also unique in the fact that it has an SRO porch in right. Pretty big one. I'm sure it's really satisfying for a lefty to plunk one on top of the roof up there and have it roll to the boulevard a mile away.
That was fine.
This one honestly could have been put in the best category, but I just love the fact that it has a freaking roller coaster and
I thought that was just for the video game, but worst ways to die: get hit by a baseball while on a coaster.
right field and a go-kart track. Pretty cool. Since it's in Altoona, they had to do something to entertain the locals, and this park covers all the bases.
Just say that's still pretty cool. Like all day event. Like, hey, let's go kart and coaster, then pick a game up at night.
The roller coaster is called the Skyliner, and it's one of those wooden ones that jars you around like a baby being held by Michael J. Fox.
The reference bad, but the wooden coasters are really good.
Not only does F&B Field have odd dimensions and variable fence heights, it's also located in a tiny little island in Harrisburg, PA,
I'm sorry, that would be a cool place to play baseball or soccer.
on the Susquehanna River. Of course, this makes the field prone to flooding
Okay, that's a bad thing. That is a very bad thing.
like you did in 2011, but I'm sure it's a nice place to take in a quirky baseball game and bring a life raft just in case.
That's bad placement. Oh,
Okay,
Portland.
I get that this is the AA affiliate of the Red Sox, so you need a green monster, but this layout makes zero sense. It looks like they just glued their own makeshift green monster to the left field fence and called it a day. And just to be dicks to the lefties, they also raised the wall in right field.
You earned your home runs there. That's a problem. Back up.
And
Not a bad football stadium in the background either.
just to be dicks to the lefties, they also raised the wall in right field. The stadium is also oddly truncated by the James A. Banks Expo Center, giving the right field a unique but weird look of the back of an old gymnasium.
I don't mind it. No, I didn't mind it at all.
One of my favorite weird dimension ballparks, we have Momentum Bank Ballpark in Midland, Texas. What's more interesting than the curved outfield fences here is the bullpens are completely exposed and visible, and for either the road or home team, they create odd dimensions that the fielders have to contend with. Probably a great little weird place to take in a game.
That is, yeah, weird is the best way to describe it. Like,
And finally,
if you're not gonna have people really standing behind someone, put a fence over so at least they don't get worried about someone hitting them with a beer.
have to contend with. Probably a great little weird place to take in a game. And finally, for our weirdest minor league ballpark. Asheville itself is a pretty weird town, so it's fitting that
It's a cool looking town, nice looking stadium from the outskirts, yes, from the view of the field and everything around it. But it looks like it almost cuts off. It's like, this is kind of the thing I was saying, like 700 feet to left and maybe 300 feet to the right.
they would have a weird baseball field. That gets progressively weirder the more you learn about it. The field is oddly shaped, and in the short right field there is a fence that is the same height as the Green Monster. Okay, not too crazy.
Okay, if you have a short field, make it so they have to launch it over it. Okay, I don't mind that.
Except that this used to be a NASCAR series track in 1957, and they used to have stock car races here. Yeah, I don't think any other active minor league stadiums have that claim to fame. I don't know, there might actually be a couple other ones, but I don't have time
How far is the left field?
to look that up. The track was only active for 1 year, but there are still a few echoes of the past.
Like I said, that left center looks deeper than center.
Here, stay weird, Asheville. I'm 5 Points Vids, and you made it to my next video.
That is it for this video of weird minor league baseball stadiums. I think a little dry for my personal liking when he's kind of talking, like no like oomph behind it, but that's just me nitpicking. That could be how he talks. I haven't really watched much of him. But that is it. I am phasing in and out due to light, and I'm starting to melt because it is starting to get hot down here, and I have a bright light on at the air conditioner turned off so I don't have the fan in the background, so I'm melting. That's it. That's all I have. I'll see you weird people later.